Hi, in today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use Photopea for beginners. So the first thing that you'll need to do, simply go and open your preferred browser. For me here, I'm using Brave. For you, you can use whatever you want. Once you open this, go to this URL section and simply just type photopea.com and hit the enter button. This should take you into their website right away. So first thing that you'll need to do, of course, is you'll need to open a project or start a project. You can simply start a new project from scratch, or you can choose one of the things that they provide you here, some templates here that they have. Or you can, of course, choose to start from scratch, as you said, with the size that you want. If you want size for socials, for prints, for photo, for screen, mobile, ads, and etc. It's up to you to choose. Or you can open something from your computer if you want to. If you have a picture from your computer and you want to edit on it, you'll be able to do so as well. Other than that, of course, you can choose one of the templates that they have. They have multiple templates, as you can see, a lot of mockups, a lot of mobile webs, a lot of things. You can choose from whatever you want. Or you can even install the app if you want. As you can see, install Photopea if you don't want to use it in the website. Of course, also, you can upload something from your OneDrive, Google Drive, Dropbox, P Drive, a lot of things that you can simply add here, or you can simply just go and get the file that you want to edit or the picture that you want to edit and drop it here, and you will be able to start editing it without any problem. So here for me as example, I'll just start with a template. I want a simple template to start from. So as example, this template, why not? I'm just going to click on it twice and it will open the template right here for me. So as you can see, the template is very simple. And we have here a text, like text saying text. And of course, we have here a simple background. Here, of course, we will find all the layers. As you can see here on the right, we will find all the layers that we have in our image here. So as example, I have two layers, a text layer and a background layer. Of course, I'll be able to add more layers in the future if I want to. If I can simply go here to layers at the top options and click a new layer. As example, you can create a new layer and it will be created right here. Of course, you can start blending it if you want to. You can, as an example, select some pixels on it and change them. You can duplicate it if you want to. You can delete it if you want to. You can also convert it to smart objects, then do multiple stuff with this. But this is for some advanced a little bit features in Photopea. Of course, we have here the layer styles where you can copy it, paste it. We have the clipping mask and also like merge down, flatten image, or even choose a color as example for the layer to outstand from other layers. That's if you specifically have multiple layers. Because as example, if you're an advanced designer or something like that, you will create a lot of layers and you don't want to keep looking for the layer that you want specifically. So you can basically group them using like those colors so you don't get like confused between layer and layer or place to place. Of course, so other than that, the basic stuff that you'll need to do is or to know is very simple. Of course, the control Z, if you make any change as example, so let's say I'm just going to click on this text layer. Now I will be able to move it because I'm on this tool, which is the move tool. Of course, you can always select this by V. If you're in another tool, you can click on V and you'll be taken on. This is shortcuts for it. And let's say, as an example, I deleted it. I deleted this by mistake, so I can always go back to it by clicking on Control Z. If I want to go back to deleting it and redo my undo, I can click on Control Shift Z and it will be deleted again. Of course, here on the top right corner, we will find the history of all the changes I made on my Photopea. I'll be able, as example, to go back when I moved this text first and when I changed the color of the layer, when I created a new layer, as example. And as you can see, I'll always be able to go to the specific place that I made that change if I want to go back to that place as example and start over from a specific milestone that I'm on. Other than that, of course, you can basically just start editing right now once you know those basic stuffs in Photopea. Of course, as we said, every tool here, some tools are very basic and very beginner friendly. You will get to know them in no time. Some of them are intermediate and some of them are for experts. Of course, you can get to know them and use them very fast with time. You can come here and keep practicing with various tools. As an example, you can just keep making some scratch around and some scrapes here, and you will understand how the tool works very good, and you'll be able to use it like a pro designer in no time. So as an example here, let's just go to this rectangular select. What this do is simply you can select a specific area if you want to make a change to that specific area if you want to. Other than that, of course, you can also like select the whole thing if you want to make a change to it. Because why? If we go as an example to any tool in here, as example, I'm going to this blur tool. As you can see, it's also uh, here on the left. And of course, not all the tools, if you can see here, if I hover it, not all the tools have some keyboard shortcuts. So for this blur tool, it doesn't have any shortcuts. As an example, for this dot tool, it has a shortcut which is O. If I click on O, as you can see, it will be highlighted. That means I'm using it right now. For text, I can use T. For for the like move tool, I can use V. For the hand tool, as an example, I can use H. What does the hand tool do is basically I don't want to like edit anything. I just want to move the picture around and see as an example. Maybe if you have a big picture, I want to see this area exactly. I want to see this. I want to see this. We have here the zoom tool, of course, if you want to zoom and etc. So let's just say I want to blur this T here. So as you can see, when I try to blur it, text layers must be resized or rasterized first. So of course, to be able to blur or do anything to it, as you can see. Of course, the like blur tool is very small. I want to make it bigger because I want to blur it very fast. So all I need to do is go to the top left corner. I'll find this place in here. I can just go and click on it and make the size bigger. I can even lower the hardness, change the shape of it if I want to, of course, do that. Other than that, we can go here to the right, as you can see, and we will find like settings or property where we can simply find like a lot of informations that we want to about a lot of stuff. So here's an example. I make it a little bit bigger. Now I'm just going to blur as an example this whole T. As you can see, you might find it like a little bit laggy. And it's completely normal, especially if you're using the website. You might even like, if you want to, as an example, I'm just going to select this move, then text again. And as you can see, this text exactly, I can, of course, go and right click on it and change a lot of stuff on it if I want to. Also, as you can see, this is like a folder, like a group. And as you can see, this text is not like one thing. It's like a group of things, as you can see, that has effects. If I just go here and remove this effects, as you can see, you will get just the text remaining. But as you can see, when you see this arrow in here, that means it's like a group or folder that has many effects on it, as you can see. So we have the stroke effect, the satin effect, as you can see, so you'll be able to see them if you want to, or you'll be able to remove them if you want to. So this normally comes with the template itself. Of course, you can make your own effects, but this is a little bit advanced for beginners. So of course, if you want to create also your own text, you can simply, as we said, click on T and you can type whatever you want. So here I'll just type in T, click wherever I want to enter the text. And again, I'm just going to type tests. Of course, if I want to change the color of it, I'm just going to delete this before even writing it. Go here and choose the color that you want. Maybe I want blue, this specific blue, click on OK and type test. Of course, if I want to change like the layout of it, I can just come here and look for the layout I want. Maybe as example, I want this layout. I'm going just to click on it. You may notice that it will not change fast. Of course, as you can see, all you need to do again to delete it again, of course, write it again. Of course, if you don't want to delete it, you can just like select it and simply go here and change it to wherever or however you want. So example, I'm just going to let it like this. So here I'm just going back to the move tool and I can move now this new layer of text. So as you can see, there is a difference between this and this. This is a pure text and this is a layer that has a text with multiple effects on it. So as you can see, you may have to start notice any different now. Now as example, let's just try some tools on this stuff. So I can just go as example and select this and try as example to blur the C, of course, yeah. As you can see, now we're blurring the T in here. I can try as example and like, I don't know, make some colors on it. Of course, you can choose the color from here of the brush. So the tools that you're using here, if you want to change the color of it, it's going to be from here, as you can see. So maybe I want to like do some arrow. I want to do some stuff. It's up to you to do whatever you want. Of course, it's up to your creativity. If you want, as example, this copy tool, or as it's called, I guess, a clone tool. Maybe you have an image. Let's just say you have an image and you want, maybe you're making a meme or a troll or something, and you want to copy the face of someone. Maybe you have a picture of someone in here. Let's just draw someone. I'm just going to take this brush and I'm just going, of course, to here. Go to the brush and simply I'm just going to draw stupid drawing in here. And let's say this is the face of someone and I want to clone his face. All I need to do, click on this clone face or clone tool. Of course, hold the Alt key and simply left click to see the area that you want to clone. As example, I want to clone his whole face. So I'm just going to do so again from here. As you can see, now this will clone this area specifically. Yeah, like this. And as you can see now, I have his face moving around. Of course, let me just clone it better. Yeah, like that. As you can see, I have his face moving around. Now I can paste it somewhere. So I'm just going to create another area here. I have this clone and I can simply paste this here around. So as you can see, this is like called the clone tool. We have, of course, the eraser tool. If you want to like delete something, of course, you can very known. You can also like make the size bigger, change the shape of it to, as an example, rectangular or something like that. You'll be able to do even those stuff. So other than that, you have some guardian tool. This is a little bit advanced, so you can skip that. We have here normally the pen, where you can, of course, draw some stuff. This is not like for typing. So for typing, if you want to like draw some stuff with your hand, normally you can use the brush. If you want this pen as an example, is if you want to create some path tool, some notes tool as example. So maybe this is going to be linked to this is going to be linked to this, and etc. So again, a little bit like not beginner friendly. So you can of course test around with it and see if it suits you, and you can keep using it however you want. And yeah, I've basically like covered most of the beginner stuff. And I guess that's gonna be it for me today. Thank you for watching. Of course, if you wanna like finish those stuff and just save your things and download it, you can go to File, always export it as, and you can export it however you want, as PNG, GPG, PDF, GIF as an example. And yeah, you should be good to go. So that's gonna be it for me today. Thank you for watching and goodbye.